Good evening. This meeting is now called to order. This is the Public Safety Committee meeting for October 13th, 2025. I'm the chair, Councilmember Yolanda McCoy of the 6th District. Thank you. At this time, I will call roll for those members of the committee first. Councilman Spadola,
Present.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
and President Conga. All right. And if there are any other council members online, please introduce yourself. Okay, I think that's it. All right. So as a friendly reminder, only those members of the committee should be making any motions and seconding. We have a pretty nicely packed agenda today. It has been revised. We are going to start with ordinance number 25-052, an ordinance to authorize and approve a one-year extension of contract 26008 PD, which is for police clothing, and it's between the City of Wilmington and McDonald Uniforms Company Incorporated. Chief Campos, would you like to speak to this?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good evening, Madam Chair and council members. This is an ordinance to authorize and approve two one-year extensions of contract between the City of Wilmington and McDonald Uniforms Company. The contract has an annual cost of $110,749 and includes the option for two possible one-year extensions. We are seeking council's approval to be able to exercise those extensions so that this contract could become a multi-year agreement to run for a total of 3 years. This contract, as you know, is covered by funds already in our annual budget year.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Chief Campos? Okay. Chief Campos, the only question that I have is for the multiple one-year extensions. Will the added extensions will be at the same amount?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just wondering why we just didn't do okay, I get it now. Or why we didn't do a multi-year contract. All right, that's it. If there are any questions from council? Anyone from the public? All right. So this ordinance does not have to be passed out of committee, and it will go to the full floor on October 16th?
November 6th.
November 6th, I'm sorry. All right, November 6th. We will see this on the full floor for November 6th. Okay.
Madam Chair, I believe Councilwoman Darby, I think she dropped again. She may be having.
Okay. You thought she was on? Okay, just make me aware of when she gets. Oh, she is on? Okay. We'd like to acknowledge Councilwoman Darby has joined the meeting. All right. Now, has Councilman Owens gotten here yet? Okay. Well, we're going to skip over his at the moment. Okay. All right, we're going to skip over Councilman Owens' ordinance because he is on his way. We can go straight to yours, Councilman Oliver. It is going to be an ordinance 25-034, an ordinance to amend Chapter 36 of the City Code to prohibit resisting, impeding, or interfering with the city employees' official job duties. Councilwoman Oliver, did you have anything you'd like to speak on this ordinance?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. Now, this is an ordinance to amend Chapter 36 in the City Code, prohibiting and bending, interfering with city employees' official job duties. And this has came up several occasions where city employees are trying to do their jobs, such as in the water department, PRIOs, and you have residents or individuals coming up to them, cussing them out, also threatening them, and you have individuals out there who are just trying to do their jobs. So various departments, we had did it for public works, and now the water department is having some major issues. What one of the guys got threatened out on the job. I don't even think he was cutting off the water. We'll just tell him that they'd be back within 48 hours. I guess he was out on the block and just giving them a warning, and was cursed out like nobody's business and very disrespected, and he was just on the job. So there is no fiscal impact related to this ordinance. And it will lead for individuals. The ordinance combines with section 36-194 and 36-195 to reinforce that any impending city employees performing their job duties and if any of the above in the ordinance is happening to them, it could lead to a misdemeanor offense, and the AG's office will be involved. So this is to protect individuals who's just trying to do their jobs, and you have people, everybody's in an uproar nowadays with bad attitudes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Did I have any of my council members have a comment or a question about this ordinance? We'd like to acknowledge Councilman Owens has
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes, Councilman Espadola.
Sorry, I was slow on the mute button, but I have a question.
Yes, please continue.
Sure. So is this, I understand what Councilmember Oliver said about residents having bad attitudes, but that a bad attitude is not illegal. And I'm just looking at the language. And is it criminalizing language?
No. I just was trying to, like I said, if you have it in front of you, I'm sorry.
Right.
No, this is, I just threw that out there. I didn't want to say
Councilman Oliver, yeah. Councilman Spadola, was that just the end of the question, or do you have more for Councilman Oliver?
Sure. Yeah, if I could just finish, please.
Okay.
I'm just looking at 36-194B.
Mm-hmm.
I understand whoever shall resist, intimidate, or impede any officer or employee in the discharge by physical acts. I get that part.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're literally blocking, the water meter person from checking the water meter or something, or by abusive, indecent, profane, or vulgar language, which by its very utterance tends to incite an immediate breach of the peace. I guess I'm a little uncomfortable with that language. I just think about, as a former police officer, people can tell you to F off or, it's just, unfortunately, it's part of the job. I just want to make sure we're not criminalizing something here that's just language. And I see language as a noun here with a lot of adjectives in front of it. So, can you speak to that at all?
Yes, thank you. Very good question. As I stated, this was a piece of legislation from the Public Works Department based on inspectors who have reported an increase of verbal abuse, interference, threatening, or actual physical violence while attempting to discharge their duties. We can have a conversation about this to try to amend it. Is anyone on the call from Public Works? Madam Chair?
No, I do not see anyone from Public Works on the call, or I don't believe there's anyone either in the committee. Meeting room. So wait a minute. So let me make certain that there's no other questions about the ordinance. So Councilman Spadola, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Did anyone else have anything to say about it? Council members? All right, I have Councilman Johnson.
Hi, good evening. I thank you for recognizing me, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that this is, I'm supportive in this ordinance. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. I also do believe we may need to have some more feedback from Public Works, but similar to the prior ordinance with Prios, I do see, not only the uptick in violence for our public servants, but, we have public servants of all stripes, including elected officials. I mean, there's just been a rise of violence everywhere. So I think we definitely need to take care of our city workers and make sure they're protected. So I think if the sponsor is inclined, we can make some more tweaks, get some additional feedback from Public Works, maybe about the number of incidents that have occurred, and then move forward.
All right, thank you, Councilman Johnson. All right, so is there any other council persons that have anything to add to this ordinance? Okay, anyone from the public? All right, back to Councilwoman Oliver. So now it seems as though Councilman Johnson and Councilman Spadola. Sorry. Oh, there's.
Public comment.
Oh, there is? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, someone's on public comment on Zoom?
Hi there. Yes, indeed. My name is Jamila Davey, and I live in the 5th District. And I have had my eye on this ordinance for a little while. I want to just echo what I heard. I only heard some of it. Thank you guys for streaming on Facebook because, there's a lot of meetings going on. And so I just saw that you were having this conversation. And I've been concerned about this for a while because the language of the ordinance as it stands already protects the parking enforcement people. And I heard Councilwoman Oliver explain that there's concern around Public Works employees. And it's a similar thing that we are potentially criminalizing speech through this ordinance. And I think I would just ask the council to take a really close look at it and make sure that we are not criminalizing speech through this ordinance. And just to be careful about criminalizing, adding, is it the job of the city to, I am not a legal expert, but I do, and I know you put everything through the legal department. But I'm just really concerned about, criminalizing speech, period. And that is, in the language of this ordinance. So I just ask you to really take a close look at that and make sure that, that's not the case here. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else on this?
No other comments.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Is there another?
I thought there was a hand raised. Okay, no hands
Okay.
raised.
You good?
Okay.
All right, Councilwoman Oliver, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate everyone's feedback. And I will talk to the law department regarding this legislation and the verbal abuse, maybe that verbal abuse with Councilman Spadola mentioned. But as we all know, there has been an increase in violence all over the world. So, and it's really become increasingly disturbing that people are, attacking people and verbally, cursing people out because of their jobs. But as I stated, I will talk to the law department and see what kind of adjustments we can make. I would like to really do a floor amendment to add what it says in the first whereas clause. Currently, the city declines. When it has police officers, public works employees, it should be, I would like to say, comma, city employees. That's already on there. Oh, and city council members and other city employees, because we're not considered city employees per se. So I will be talking to the law department and work on the rest of this the rest of the language. But I will.
Madam Chair, is there a motion? I would like to second.
Okay. So no, there actually is not a motion on the floor at the moment, only because I didn't know whether or not Councilwoman Oliver was trying to make a motion or was she going to be taking it back to law to make these changes. Let me know what you wanted to do, Councilwoman.
No, I'm gonna make a motion for that change right there.
Okay.
To the law, as far as the verbal, because I understand what everyone's saying regarding the verbal, but that, okay.
All right, so then there is a motion on the floor then to add comma and council members to the first whereas clause. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so it has been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, right. So the ayes have it. But this is still a piece of pending legislation that Councilwoman does wish to go back to law about. So I do look forward to seeing, what you come up with Councilman Johnson and Spadola when it comes to this ordinance. Okay.
That
All
will
right,
be all. Thank you.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to add to that?
No, Madam Chair. Thanks a lot.
Okay, wait a minute. So hold up. Okay. All right. So I have President Congo is online. Now, did Mr. Fletcher, was he trying to speak to this?
Yes, Councilwoman Darby has a hand up and Mr. Fletcher.
Okay. So Councilman Oliver, there's actually still 2 questions online on Zoom. I have Mr. Fletcher, Brandon Fletcher.
Good evening, Chairwoman McCoy. I'm here just to express concern that this ordinance may violate the First Amendment. While protecting city employees from threats or violence is absolutely important, this proposal goes much further. It makes it a crime to use abusive, indecent, or profane language towards a city employee, language that courts have repeatedly said is protected speech. In the city of Houston versus Hill, the Supreme Court struck down almost identical language, ruling that citizens have the right to verbally challenge or criticize government officials without fear of arrest. Public employees, especially those exercising authority and that are elected, must expect scrutiny and even sharp criticism. That's part of democracy. And so I just urge council, the sponsor of this, Oliver, to to reject it or amend it to target only true threats and physical obstruction, not speech that's merely offensive or uncomfortable. And really that we just have to be careful not to pass laws that silence frustration or criticism. And it's really Trump-like, honestly. And I think, people should be able to speak up without fear of being arrested just because their words made someone feel uncomfortable. So I just, am encouraging you to, Oliver, please narrow this so that it only covers real threats and physical interference, not speech, and that, yes, you can protect the workers' safety and our constitutional rights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Darby, you had your hand up?
Yes, I have my hand up since earlier. But yes, I wanted to, Brandon took a lot of the words out of my mouth, is that I wanted to narrow it down to actual threats and not words or offensive language. Because as I'm probably the council person that actually gets real live threats to her life, and letters written to my house and Facebook accounts made to actually cause like real physical harm to me. So I definitely support safety of people. But in those cases, what I do, what I have done in the past, I've reported it. There's already like mechanisms to protect people from that. Like I get people who anonymously write to my house threatening me. I get people who write to city council and I get called all types of N words and B's and stuff like that, right? Which, okay, I get called N words and B's, cool. But when people start crossing the line for threats, I think we protect that. But if people want to call me a B, fine. They want to call me the N word, call me the N word, right? Those things, okay, whatever. But to cause physical harm to me is different. So I definitely support the safety part, but I don't think we should stop people from expressing their self, even if it is offensive, even if it may be, even if it may hurt your feelings, right? That's okay. You signed up for this position. So I'm not in support of adding. That's why I was trying to speak to the amendment. I'm not in support, and I wasn't called on. I'm not in support of adding the city council to this at all. So, thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, so I do
Ma-
see, all right, Councilman Nowler, I'm going to let you be last again. I do see Councilman
Okay.
Johnson's hand up. Are you, okay, looks like it's
Yes.
down. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's back. It's up, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay.
And I just wanted to add, I think we can work with the law department to get this right. Again, I think we just have to live in reality. It's not appropriate for, I think, our highly, underpaid city employees or any even elected officials to feel like their family or life is threatened. And there certainly is a demarcation between verbal threats and obviously, you know, immediate threats, imminent threats. But that line, is even the Supreme Court has held, is kind of slim. I mean, look at January 6th. Was that just words, or was that words that incited violence? So I think it's all subjective, obviously. What someone else perceived as threats is different. One public works worker may feel more intimidated by a different one. It depends on context. So I think that's where discretion, really of law enforcement, comes into play, where our officers are trained to make this determination. It's similar to like disorderly conduct. What is disorderly conduct? What's not? That's really subjective. So I just think we can't plan for every situation, but the bottom line is I will always stand behind our city employees, and no one, no matter who they are, should not be treated with respect and should be in fear of their life or obstructed while performing a city duty. So that's really what it is. And I definitely think we can amend it to make sure the language part is out, but that it's focused on threats.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Oliver.
Yes, Madam Chair. I can make this amendment tonight. I don't need the law department. I agree totally with my colleagues. And the second whereas clause, I like to strike after increase, the verbal abusive interference, and just stick with the threatening actual physical violence while attempting to discharge their duties. So we can, I agree with the First Amendment. So we can wipe out the verbal abuse. I mean, I get called names myself, and I just take it on the chin. It just depends on the conversation, but I'm a big girl, so we can. Like I said, this was from the Public Works, and as Councilman Johnson stated, where some individuals don't know, a Prio was chased down the street with a gun because of a ticket. Another Prio was punched in the face because of a ticket. And none of our city employees or whoever you are trying to perform your duties should have to be assaulted. I mean, they went to court and there wasn't even nobody from the city there for them. So they're trying to implement some things, put some things in place that protects them somewhat. So this is not a felony. I think it's something under $300 or whatever. That was a conversation. But maybe they need to get a misdemeanor if y'all hitting on city employees for giving you a ticket because you parked over 2 hours. I mean, I've gotten tickets and I didn't like it, but it doesn't cause me to go punch a Prio in the face. So nevertheless, I'm gonna stick to the ordinance. I like to make a amendment on the whereas second clause, whereas licensed inspection inspectors have reported an increase in slash wipe out verbal abuse and wipe out um, uh, interference, if you want to say that. I don't, and just say threatening and or actual physical abuse while attempting to discharge their duties. Now, Chris, how does that sound as an attorney?
Second.
Okay. All right. So I have the amendment is whereas license and inspections. I'm sorry. Whereas license and inspectors have reported an increase in interference and threatened and or actual physical violence while attempting to discharge their duties.
Right. So we're leaving out verbal abuse.
Okay.
So I mean, like you
All right,
said,
so I got the motion and it was seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I have a question. So sorry. You're supposed to do on a question. Like you're not giving people time to talk about the amendment.
Okay.
That's Robert's rules.
Ma'am, you're correct on the question. Did you have something to state?
Are you calling on me
I
now?
am calling on you, Councilwoman Darby. Go ahead on the question.
Yeah, so I am in support of removing that in this piece of legislation. However, I think the conversation between city employees and public elected officials are two different things, right? So I think the conversation has to be different. So I know we made an amendment earlier to add to add public officials, which I think should be a separate conversation than city employees, which are two very different entities and boxes of people. But I am in support of taking out the verbal part. But I also want to mention that I'm still not the city council part I don't agree with. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Darby. Was there anyone else had something on the question or comment about the amendment? All right, Councilman Johnson.
I do agree with Councilwoman Darby. Actually, I do believe. Again, we are elected officials aren't city employees or a special category. I think there again can be special protocol. My understanding in General Assembly or even our Congress people in federal government, they have special protections of the threat against elected official. So I think there could be a further conversation about that and what it looks like because it is not okay. And I would have first to say I know Councilwoman Darby has had to manage through this, and I think it unfortunately was not addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. No one should be getting threats because of something they believe. So I certainly support us looking at that further.
All right, thank you. Does there anyone else have anything to add to this on the question before we vote on this
Yeah, I did
amendment?
have a one follow up.
Yeah.
Why aren't they people? Because there's already a process to this. Because hello, this has been happening to me for 5 years, and now everyone cares about safety now. I literally get death threats. I don't get threats. I get death threats to end my life. Right. So I get those. What you do is call the cops. So when someone is getting chased down the street with a gun, why aren't the police responding? Why aren't they calling the cops to then have the cops respond to then have charges pressed against them? And then also another thing, even though Councilmember Johnson is an attorney, we can't ask him. He's not the city's attorney. So we can't be referring to him to see if something is correct or not. But those are my two things.
All right. Does there anyone else have anything to add to this ordinance before we actually take a vote on the amendment?
Councilwoman Oliver has a hand raised.
Okay. Councilwoman Oliver.
Now, I just wanted to make some clarity. I wasn't referring to Chris really as attorney. I just heard him second it, and I was just wondering, was he okay with the motion for me adding that? So I just wanted to make clarity. So you can continue.
Okay. Thank you. So now, I want to be clear because we've already did one amendment to this ordinance, and you're still trying to do all of this to this ordinance rather than go back and to rework it. We've already added city council members, and then and to the first whereas clause, but the third whereas clause, that was actually the third, not the second. The third whereas clause, you're actually removing verbal abuse and interference. And we've already did one amendment. This is the second. How is there a motion to move this to put this amendment through?
Excuse me, Madam Chair. You said we were just talking verbal abuse, not interference. You read it. You said we're removing verbal abuse, public. That's freedom of speech.
Right. So, but you had stated verbal abuse and interference. You said
Okay, no.
You only wanted threatened and or physical violence.
Verbal and abuse.
You're leaving interference.
Yes, ma'am.
Kendra, you got this?
Yes.
Okay.
Councilwoman Bracy has a hand raised.
All right. So, is there a motion to approve this amendment?
Madam
Councilwoman Bracy has her hand raised.
Okay, Councilman Bracy.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you. Since we're still on the question, is it possible for us to just table this discussion until we have a clean copy of the legislation instead of, because we don't really need to vote on these changes if she just takes it back and reworks it and then just sends it out to everybody. Then I think that might alleviate any confusion, and then we can all the council members will just have a clean copy of whatever the new version is.
Councilman Oliver.
That's
That
fine with me.
suggestion?
I
Thank you.
mean, yeah, I'm fine.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Michelle has a hand raised.
All right. Ms. Bass Knight?
Yes, I just want to clarify. So Councilwoman Oliver is going to hold her legislation until the changes are made?
Okay. Yes, she
Yeah.
is.
Wait a
Okay,
minute,
thank you.
wait a minute, wait 1 second. I would like this to be, now, Marshall, I'm gonna, Madam Chair, may I ask Marshall a question? Marshall, you still on there, Ms. Bass Knight?
Yes.
Now, I need this to be, I would like to have this on November the 6th. Now, the way you said it, will I be able to have this on November the 6th if I hold it? Because I don't want to hold it. I can just say I'll go back and work with the First Amendment was there. I go for that because we already moved the motion. And I go back and speak to the law department, but I do not want to hold this. So whatever, we go with that First Amendment, and from there, I talk to the law department and work it, and so it can be on the floor for November the 6th.
Yes, and any changes would have to be a floor amendment.
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the update. Thank you.
Thank you.
That'll be all, Madam Chair.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go to the ordinance we skipped over, Ordinance 25-055, an ordinance to amend Chapter 37 of the City Code to prohibit the parking of tow trucks on city streets. Councilman Owens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First off, I apologize for being a little late to this meeting. But this ordinance, again, came out of a constituent, brought it to my attention that she had lost her daughter, Bria Nitz, in 2023 during a car accident in which she crashed into the back of a tow truck. Since that conversation, I've paid more attention to the tow trucks that are being parked on our streets all throughout the city of Wilmington, and especially in my district. I'm really looking at the flatbed tow trucks that have no reflective gear. It's hard to see them at night. And most of them, I'm not saying they should park up on the sidewalk, but when they don't park up on the sidewalk, they are actually extended over into the driving lane, which can cause a horrible accident. We already have provisions that prohibit commercial vehicles and recreational vehicles and boats from being parked on the street. This would add tow trucks to that list in chapter 37. And again, we already lost one resident while that accident wasn't in the city of Wilmington. Again, this is just trying to be more preventative of things like that happening in the city of Wilmington.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Owens. Does any of the council have any questions for about this ordinance?
Yes, Madam Chair.
All right, Councilwoman Oliver.
I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Good piece. Thank you.
Is there anyone else have any questions about this ordinance? Okay.
I don't have any questions. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. My hand was up.
Yeah, you know what? I do see it. There's a reflection on that.
It's a bad.
Yeah, that's why I can hardly see hands up there. Thank you. Did you get that?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Is there anyone in the public who has anything to add to this? Okay. All right. I did have one question. So you stated that of course, we do already realize that there is an ordinance when it deals with commercial vehicles, and is this just for the tow trucks, and does it have anything to do with weight or anything like that? It's just tow trucks, period.
So tow trucks fall under the 11,000 pound provision of registered vehicles. Currently, now the commercial vehicles that we do deal with are like semi trucks, the 18 wheelers, they're cabs as well too. This is just adding in writing tow trucks to the end of that provision. And it would only, the first offense is a level 18 civil penalty, and then the second offense is a level 20 civil penalty. I didn't know.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, I would like to be added as a co-sponsor as well. Commercial, the oversized commercial trucks are definitely an issue in my area as well. Not just cabs, but there are multiple types of commercial vehicles. I said they tear up the sidewalk as well. So,
There you go.
all right. I said so. If there's no one else has anything to say about that, this will go on November 6th council meeting. Okay. All right. And we will move forward. Okay. I have substitute 1 for ordinance 025-051, an ordinance to amend chapter 2 of the city code to expand the qualifications of the members of the Wilmington Community Police Accountability Board and increase compensation for board members. And this is Councilwoman Darby's piece.
Yeah, so this piece of legislation really looks at a few things about our current police accountability board. Just to give a brief history, this is really started with Councilmember Johnson in his, believe his first term, where he introduced the idea of a citizens review board, which is also called a police accountability board, where constituents can come and have a place to report incidents. This entity can do, the research, the data collection, also recommend some trainings for our police department and work on like community relations. So we are establishing our police accountability board currently right now. And this piece of ordinance is really just a cleanup ordinance. After speaking to, well, I didn't speak to them directly, but after having a few conversations between the new police accountability board and city council staff, it was brought up that the chairperson should be compensated and the vice chair should be compensated at a higher rate per meeting than other members. The reason for this is that the chair and vice chair will be doing more work, right? They'll be leading the cause, especially in the beginning of like establishing the board. So this legislation would approve for that to happen. We also, in this piece of legislation, wanted to expand that you had to not just live in the city, but you can live or work in the city to be on the Citizens Review Board or the Police Accountability Board. Why did this change? When we were looking for appointmentships, it was hard to find people, one, who were interested, who lived in the city of Wilmington to be on this board. There were people who worked here who were interested, but since they didn't have an address here, could not be on it. However, even though we are expanding that, we are saying that the majority of voting members shall be residents of the city of Wilmington. So we're still prioritizing that. So this piece of legislation is just a cleanup legislation for us to just improve our police accountability board. I know Councilmember Chris Johnson is already a co-sponsor, so I don't know if there's anything you would like to add about the piece of legislation.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Johnson?
Yes, I thank you for Councilwoman Darby for working hand in hand with the board on this matter. And what I was just letting the public know is that the board already met their first meeting in September. I was able to attend a portion of that meeting. It was a lot was covered in a short amount of time. But I would say it was a successful meeting, and so a lot of the agenda items are making some changes were talked about. I certainly do believe in the compensation of not only the chair and vice chair, but all members will be compensated, because I believe to have a truly representative board, we need folks who maybe can't afford to take some hours out of work. So yes, the board is starting really well. They actually do have a meeting coming up this October 20th, I believe. I'm not sure of the time, but Kendra can confirm the time. But yes, we hope everyone can tune in. They really are doing important work, and we must fully support them. So I hope everyone can be a co-sponsor on this and support their work going forward.
Um,
Okay.
and that, Madam Chair,
1 o'clock.
yeah, the meeting is at 1 p.m. on October 20th.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Kendra.
All right. So, did anyone else have anything to add about the ordinance 25-051?
Yes, Madam Chair, my hand is up.
Okay. Councilman Oliver.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. I remember when Councilman Johnson was working on this, and we talked about it for several hours a couple of years ago. So I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Kendra, you see that? All right. Councilman Owens.
Yes. Just real quick, the chair and the vice chair. Can you just go over the additional duties that they will have, different from the regular members? I see on here that it's now changing the compensation, just so the public knows, to $150 per meeting for the chairperson and $125 per meeting for the vice chairperson, while all other members are at 100.
Yes, Chair McCoy, could I have, I don't know if Marshall or Kendra can speak to this on more of the duties that they have listed out for the vice chair and chair.
Okay. All right.
So the chair of the board coordinates on the agendas, is the point of contact with city council and serves as a liaison with council on board related matters. And the vice chair is there, also to assist them with those duties.
All right. Thank you. Did that answer your question? All right. I'm sorry. Was there anything else?
I believe Councilwoman Oliver had that.
Oh, Councilman Oliver.
Yes, no, I was just asking, I wanted to ask you, could Kendra say her whole name since she was speaking towards the ordinance, opposed to just Kendra? I think we need to hear her whole name on record, please.
Dr. Kendra Brumfield Nwangna.
Thank you.
All right. So, if does any of the other council people have anything to say to this ordinance? All right. If not, I also would like to be added as a co-sponsor. I do believe that it's very important that we actually compensate the people on our boards. This is something that I've actually tried to get done on another board previously, and I'm just glad that they're recognizing that in order to make certain that we help people are going to be there and that we do not take advantage of anyone's time, that we keep it consistent, that people do not burn out and leave us, that, that there should be some type of compensation. So I would like to be added as co-sponsor. Is there anyone in the public who'd like to speak to this ordinance? Okay. No one on Zoom. All right. Okay, so then the substitute number 1 to ordinance 25-051 will move to the full council floor on November 6th for the vote. Right. Now we have the presentation for the Community Public Safety Initiative and the Wilmington Street Team, the third quarter report by Dr. Debra Mason, CPSI coordinator. Thank you, Dr. Mason.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Chair. Dr. Debra Mason, I was getting ready to say probation parole, but that's not my life anymore. Dr. Debra Mason, I am the CPSI coordinator, and I wanted to give a brief overview of what has taken place in the city of Wilmington in relation to the Wilmington Street Team over the past 90 days. So I'm going to move rather quickly through the PowerPoint presentation because we do have some community members here who would like to speak. I also submitted the report to the council this morning, so feel free to ask any questions, reach out, call me, or email me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Kendra, next slide, please. All right, so just the members who participate with the Wilmington Street Team, I always want to give them credit, which is Network Connect and Center for Structural Equity. They do an amazing job. Thank you, Kendra. Next slide. The zones that we cover, zones 1 through 4, Prices Run, North Side area, And then zones 5 through 8 on the east side, we'll talk a lot about those. You'll see a lot of those mentioned in the report, but they are also highlighted in the report. Next slide. The overview of the last 90 days. We have definitely strengthened the neighborhood safety within the east side through prevention and partnership. I do want to highlight the incident that took place within the last 2 weeks on the east side, but I do want to say that the situation was not related to any member of that community. That was an outside incident. The focus areas, we really want to focus on violence interruption. The hubs are a big deal on both east side and the north side. And then cross-agency collaboration, working with different partners such as the Bridge Clinic, DSAM, Wilmington PD, to really get things accomplished. And then really highlighting the community resilience, that the way that the east side has bounced back has been truly remarkable. And then to highlight the fact that safety grows from connection, and we are not going to arrest the way out of this situation, so we just can't depend on enforcement by itself. Next slide, Kendra. This is relatively small, but the key highlights that are really, really important to document here is that we had 315 documented community counters over the past 90 days. That means various conversations with community members, providing them support, different types of support, which all those things are highlighted in the report. We had over 800 resource supports through, at the hubs, such as giving out clothing, showers, food, different types of things. This is a big standout for us. It's the 35 incidents or the interventions that took place over the past 90 days. Those varied from high, medium, and low risk. Those responses include the gun violence that took place in our community, brief arguments, overdosing, different things like that, where our staff had to respond to very, very serious incidents within the city of Wilmington or within our districts. And then 88% of all the activities are in our high needs areas, which are zones 3 and 6. Zone 6 is definitely an area where we have a higher number of dispatch calls on the east side. That also is the zone where our hub is at. And a lot of people come to the hub for support. And then over the past 90 days, we've served over 1,400 meals have been served between the two hubs, north side and east side. Next slide, please. The community presence, we've definitely expanded that through community walks, daily on the ground, increase the trust. That is an everyday thing. We recently had Deputy Vaughn Bond come to the hub, and he was just so impressed with the fact that we had such an array of individuals who came to the hub. It wasn't just older individuals, but we had a lot of youth that came to the hub who trust us to come in there and say, we're hungry, we need something, whatever it may be. So we pride ourselves on that. And then positive feedback from the community. And I just want to highlight that we have some community members here tonight who would like to talk about the impact that Wilmington Street Team has had on them. And then our collaboration with Wilmington PD and other local organizations. We do not provide information to Wilmington PD. That is one thing that we stress to community residents, to everyone who asks us about Wilmington Street Team. We do not provide information to the police. However, if there is an incident that the police think that Wilmington Street Team could possibly help with, they reach out to us, and we do help. We have had a few incidents where our team was able to intervene on behalf of the police asking us to intervene, and it worked out. It worked out really well. And maybe somebody else from Network Connect or CFSE could give more information about that. Next slide, please. This is the highlight of Wilmington Street Team. This first sentence is like our standout sentence, is that violent crimes have decreased significantly in our areas. On the east side, prior to the incident that took place a few weeks ago, we were down 100%. There were no murders on the east side during that time. And then 83% on the north side. We have had an increase in property crimes, and we're going to work on that to try to find out what's going on. We are seeing an influx of individuals from outside of Wilmington come into our areas, and we're noticing that a lot of the property crimes are related to that influx of people coming into our neighborhoods. We have more youth engagement, and again, trust and visibility of street teams are at an all-time high. If there is a crime that takes place, a shooting, whatever it may be, our team is present. I know that the chief will contact me if we have a serious incident take place, and I can say for certain, 99% of the time, I respond, Chief, my team is already there. So they are very present in the community. Next slide. This just highlights comp stats. I know that City Council, has access to this information. Everyone does, but it just highlights what's going on in the community. Next slide. Again, this is where the dispatch calls are taking place. Zone 3 and Zone 6, you can see, are the two highest. We have included a pop-up district because we wanted to have a district that we can kind of compare what we're doing to, that we're not having as much engagement in that area versus the ones that we are, to show that there is a big contrast between our engagement and lack thereof. Next slide, please. Our community counters, this just shows you the zones that they're taking place in. Next slide. The dispatch and incident trends. Again, we have 46, that are high risk, medium is 17%, and then we have low at 37%. Again, that definition is included within the report. I'm not going to go over it, it is very long. And most common, we see welfare checks, just following up on people, seeing how they're doing. We have incidents where a person may be on a corner and slumped over, and we check on them, find out what's going on. Do you need help? Do you need food? Whatever it may be. That is an intervention. Disputes, overdoses are a big thing too, that we often intervene in. And Zone 3 has it has a lot of activity in Zone 3. And in Zone 6, we have a lot of preventative engagement, meaning that we are talking to individuals about getting support, getting jobs, getting access to different resources to prevent them from engaging in negative behaviors. Next slide. This just highlights the incident scenario interventions, which is also, it just lays out the various things that we have done over the past 90 days. Next slide, please. This, again, is the numbers. I always like to include charts that are easily read, and you can compare and contrast where you see the higher number of encounters. The goal is to lower the number of dispatch calls. In Zone 3, you can see we had 53 encounters and only 11 dispatch calls, 18 incidents. And in Zone 6, we had 77 encounters and 27 dispatch calls. So we always want to try to outpace the number of dispatch calls. In the pop-up district, as you can see, we've had 4 encounters, but there's been 35 dispatch calls. Next slide, please. The hubs, these are crucial to the community. The East Side Hub is at 914 North Pine Street. Over the past 90 days, we had 468 interactions, ranging from clothing, individuals doing laundry, and individuals taking showers. These are just the top ones, but there's a plethora of other services that are provided at these hubs. The North Side Hub, there's been 370 interactions, food, showers, clothing over there. And I just want to really highlight the need of these in the community. And I would like to give some good news that we found out today. We had a meeting this morning with Woodlawn, who oversees the 914 hub, and we were able to get that hub for the first 3 years of this project free. They donated it to us. The only thing that we had to do was pay the utilities. And we went and had a meeting today with Woodlawn Trust, and we asked that we could have the hub past the sunset date of this project, which is December of 2026. They have agreed. They have agreed to allow us to keep the hub on the east side. If this program doesn't go past 2026, the hub will remain, and the organizations will oversee the hub. So it's just a staple in the community, and it would just be horrible to rip it away from the community members. So next slide, please. Again, this is just the East Side Hub, different resources that was been provided. Next slide. This is the North Side Hub. Next slide. Different agencies that we've worked with, definitely, again, Network Connect, CFSE, Wilmington PD, DSAM, the Bridge Clinic. We have public safety roundtables once a month that promotes transparency and accountability. The chief of police will come if we ask him to, but we have 2 captains that come to every meeting to give us a readout of what's going on the east side and the north side. At our last meeting, it was really good. We had the fire department come and speak to the residents. And then we've had different health agencies come and talk to them. Recently, I think it was last week, we had a first aid training at the 914 hub. Next slide, please. Social determinants of health. This is like the buzzwords of the year. And I think it's really important that we start really highlighting the impact that this program is having on the social determinants of health. Economic stability, we're allowing people to get access to food that is not coming, the money's not coming out of their pocket, they're able to pay their utilities, their bills. Employment, we are providing transportation if need be. The environment, we're providing hygiene, safety, we clean up the community if need be. Healthcare access, if individuals need help with learning about how to actively, engage in the Medicaid process or Medicare process, we'll help them. Harm reduction is a huge thing as well as screenings. And we provide hygiene resources, that's a must for the community. Education and literacy, we do life coaching, workforce programs. We have some members here who can talk more about that as well. And then the social context, the feedings, the events, and we really try to promote engagement and community engagement. And it's not just, about the food. It is about that once you get somebody to sit down and eat with you, they're willing to have a conversation with you. And that's where the biggest impact is coming from, is being able to sit down with somebody while they're eating and have a conversation with them. Next slide. So next quarter, what do we want to do? How do we want to end out this year? So we definitely want to expand the programs that are happening at the hub and the partnerships. We are actively working on that. Strengthen the employment and education pipelines. We definitely need to find people who are willing to hire individuals who have felonies. What I have found in the past is that individuals will get hired, and then they will say their employment is pending, after the result of their background check. A week later, the person finds out that they can't get the job, and it's traumatizing to individuals. We wanted to deepen the youth mentorship and the prevention strategies and sustain visibility and consistent follow-up. That is a big thing for us as well, is that if we have a conversation with somebody, we try to follow up with them within 48 to 72 hours to find out, did you do what you said you wanted to do, or do you need more help, or how can we make you reach your goals, help you reach your goals? Next slide. And just to close out, we want to thank the mayor, city council, and that our collective work continues to transform public safety into community empowerment. That block has taken responsibility of the safety of that block, and that's a big thing. That wasn't happening before. We can build a safer environment, healthier, and we can do a lot of great things in the city of Wilmington with the support of city council and the mayor. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I definitely wanted to make certain that I add the 100% decrease. Is that from one quarter to the next?
It is the year. We do year to year.
Oh, you're doing it for a full
Yes,
year.
for the-
So within, what was that, within one of these zones, it was 100%
Yes.
decrease? All right.
Within that district, from compared to last year at the same time, we were down 100% in murders in that area.
Congratulations. Congratulations also on the collaboration with Woodlawn.
Yes, that was a big thing today.
All right, so, before I open it up, I do have a question. The pop-up district, are you stating, or is that just different districts?
It's actually on the other side of Market Street on North Side. We know there were a lot of issues going on over there. So we want to kind of keep an eye on it, more so than really taking what we do on the other side of Market and putting it over there. We just don't have the resources to do that, but to just keep an eye on it so that we can, if need be, we can intervene and help the individuals that may suffer from some type of traumatic event.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so council members, you have any questions?
Councilmember Johnson and then Councilmember Oliver.
I'm sorry.
Councilmember Johnson, then Councilmember Oliver.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the questions of the people in front next to me first, and then they'll go. All right, Owens.
Thank you. Piggybacking off that last question, crossing North Market Street, what would it take to help expand your operations to be able to serve that community as well too?
It's going to take a lot. We would definitely need a property on that side because of the level of incidents that are taking place over there. There is a lot of individuals who are not even willing to cross Market Street to come to the hub for services. So we would have to put a hub over there, and then it would have to be staffed. And that monetary amount would have to come from CFSE and Network Connect to give you exactly how much it would cost. But yeah, this program, it takes a lot. And right now we are definitely on a shoestring budget and a shoestring staff. I know the conversation we had today with Woodlawn, he said something about how many staff do we have? And he was like, no, they do not have a lot of people who are there in that property doing the work. So at any given time, we have at least 2 people in the house at all times. Well, we may have up to 4 or 5 people, but that's about it. It's not 10 or 20 people in the house doing this work.
Thank you for that. And I would love to follow up with all 3 of y'all. Sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, and Councilman Spadola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening. You mentioned people not from Wilmington coming into Wilmington that you're coming in contact with.
Yes.
Can you provide more detail on that in terms of where are they coming from? How did they get here? And I'm just so you know why I'm asking. The mayor at a civic association meeting not too long ago mentioned specifically how, and he confirmed that the mayor of Georgetown, excuse me, not the mayor of Georgetown himself, but Georgetown put somebody in an Uber to Wilmington to go to the Sunday breakfast mission, and then they're ours. So just any more information you can share on that.
Well, actually, ironically, it was on the news, I think last month or so, where Philadelphia has a program where they will buy somebody a ticket or give them resources to leave the city, to go to another place where there are more resources available to them. So I really think that's what is happening, is that a lot of individuals from Philadelphia, from Kensington are coming down here because we don't recognize the individuals that are showing up left and right. We just don't. And we know the community. We have individuals who work in this program who have lived in this community all their lives, and they know everyone, and they don't know these individuals. So I think that that's the biggest issue, is that people are getting the resources to go somewhere, and that somewhere is here.
Follow up? Okay, so I would like to add that it was a conversation that was had about the Philadelphia spending $270,000 on one-way tickets to wherever, and our mayor did address it to the Philadelphia mayor as well. So we are trying to sever that connection because we do have our own, Delawareans that we need to care for. Not stating that we don't care for other people as well, but want to make certain that we're looking out for the Wilmingtonians.
Absolutely.
All right. So who's on there? You said Councilman Oliver had her hand up?
Yes, Councilman
Oliver.
Yes, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to thank I'd like to thank Ms. Mason for her presentation in the Community Public Safety Initiative. I'm glad, to see y'all still alive. That was a major initiative of City Council's in session 108, 107, where we wrote to Councilmember McCoy, Councilman Chris Johnson, myself. We drove with the previous mayor to New Jersey, and he liked the program. Long story short, this is how this all got started, and I'm glad to see y'all still doing the work you're doing in the streets and adding some other things to it. And I would like to make a statement about the influx of the individuals coming from out of state. As it's already been stated, we have our own issues here with Delawareans. Not that we're not concerned about everybody's safety, but it is overwhelming the amount of people you see just walking around the community who don't want help. Mayor Parker put a lot of money into the rehabilitation centers up there. They even added another one. And when she came back after 100 days and gave them 10 more days, they brought out social service agencies, all kind of help. They did not want help. They was, these people, everybody doesn't want help. So now they give them bus tickets, and the stop is here in Wilmington, Delaware. And I think it's sad that the taxpayers here are being affected by it. Benefits are benefits. And I've spoken to several of them, and they said, up in Philly, they have to catch a bus to get from North Philly to West Philly, South Philly, et cetera. And down here, I mean, it's like a dream to them. They can walk. We can walk from one side of town to the other. And, this becomes a public safety issue for our residents. And I don't think it's fair that I go over Rodney Square. I see them laying in the parking lot at the Acme. I go to, not Rodney Square, I'm sorry, over at Trolley Square. Then I go to Rodney Square. Then you go to the library, let alone 4th Street. I mean, we have to do something. We could talk off record about it, but something needs to be done about the influx of individuals coming here. And Brother Ron went from 200 to 400 people. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that, we can't, as a community and as council members, this needs to be a real serious conversation and not taken lightly that everybody's coming here and we're not doing anything about it. And taxpayers are being affected. One guy went into a lady's house, took a shower, put on her man's clothes, cooked some food. She comes in the house screaming. Luckily, the police happened to be in that area, and he was locked up from out of town with a long record. And I just wanted to put that on the record about the influx. But Debra, your team, y'all do such a good job, and you'll keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Johnson.
I'd like to thank Dr. Deborah Mason. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I think it's already been said the great work you've been doing. I think we obviously expansion on the north side would be great, but honestly, we are really severely hurting over here on the west side. I think the program has shown a track record of success. So I know Councilwoman McCoy is also a fan of bringing this to the west side. So we need to have some further meetings, I think high level meetings with both our county and state stakeholders to try to get you the long-term funding that you need. Because I think we didn't dream of this 4 years ago, but I think what we dreamed about 4 years ago has come to fruition thanks to the hard work of your team. So now, we gotta have our officials put their dollars where their mouth is, and hopefully we can get the long-term funding. Because I was at a community meeting about a week and a half ago, and at Woodlawn Library, and folks are craving for this on the west side. So whatever we need to do to even get a pilot on west side, we really need over here. Has been an uptick of crime in sector 3. So I appreciate your work, and we'll have those further conversations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Ms. Bass Knight? Oh.
Disregard, my apologies.
No problem. All right. I didn't know whether or not anyone else had anything else to state. I can actually just state, first of all, I want to say kudos to the report. I can't wait to dig into this because I really wanted to make certain that you really showed like more of a narrative about all of the stuff that you were doing. I know before it was more just the numbers, but you really needed to tell the story. So I'm really pleased to see that you got a report together. So thank you. All right. We are welcome. If we don't have anyone else from council having anything to say, we definitely will welcome public comment if you have guests who would like to speak. Please come up, introduce yourself.
How you doing?
Okay. We do keep public comment to what? Was it 2, 3 minutes? 3 minutes.
How y'all doing? I'm Deshaun Moore. I've been working with Kevin Bright. He's a part of this program. He's been helping me transition and like getting my life together and stuff like that. I've been kind of piggyback on what she was talking about. I've really been through all of that, like all of the experience. I grew up on the north side area. Growing up, So I'm gonna kind of say it's like I got it locked up at an early age, you know. So transition is actually harder than people think it is. You get a like you grow up in a certain environment. It's based on a bunch of like competition. You know, you just competing for certain stuff. You just grow up. You just it's like a product of your environment more so. So I would basically say like people in them areas, they just doing what they see. It's normal to them. It's normal to them. And I actually got locked up with a lot of people when I was young. And majority of them people have like single black parents, single black moms. They don't have no guidance at all. So one of the main things with people growing up is just guidance. It's guidance. That's really all it is just guidance. They got no like male figures in their life that show them how to like maneuver to become like a better person or do what they not seeing. So I'm Q coming real quick.
All right, so
Thank you.
what we've been talking about pretty much is.
I'm sorry, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Oh, my name's Kevin Bright. I'm with the Wilmington Street Team and Network Connect. And what me and Deshaun have been talking about is his transition as far as the mental space, as far as being strong enough to stay away from those temptations of his friends, the old neighborhoods, not trying to trick the probation, and staying steadfast and filling out applications because you get discouraged a lot, you get told no more than you get told yes. So he's just developing some inner strength, but right now he's at a stage where as though he's going to be around people that's doing positive things. He's hanging around people that, have what he's aspiring to. So that's what we're doing at Network Connect. And I seen a need over Northside Hub, where as though there are young men 18 to 25 that want to change, they just don't know how to change and what to do. So I just took it upon myself to start, bring some young men along. He's one of few, but I think he has the potential to do some positive things. But like I told him, potential just means he didn't do anything. It's time to start taking actions. So I think he's walking on that path.
Thank you.
Good day. How are you? My name is Lanika Rudock. I like to speak on behalf of the hub in the area they didn't really speak on. I actually became disabled not too long ago. I injured my spine. So it's me. I have a young boy, he's 7. They actually have helped me in the time where I'm really extremely destitute at this time. I was taking classes for urban farming, graduated, didn't have anything to wear. They helped me with that. Was really having an issue with quality of life things like doing the laundry, deciding if I'm gonna do his laundry, my laundry, different things like that. And they really just put in a big stakeholder, like the young man said. Some things that are not in the community, I'm a single mom. So I don't have the accessibility for some things like certain guidance for certain things, if not for me, for my child. So they definitely help with that. And with the CPR classes, they said first aid, but I don't think they really got into it. They help with CPR, if anyone was choking on anything, the different classes that we took. And then we went to a birthday party shortly after that. My son was choking on something. And basically, the course literally saved his life. You know what I mean? It was like literally 5 or 6 days later. So a lot of things that they may be overlooking. Like I said, prior to this, my income was very strapped. It still kind of is, but it's helped us with a few quality of life things. Like we've been able to have a family night since we started going there. It definitely helps with our quality of life, mental health, different things like that. Because again, when you're going through hardship, I noticed that it's sometimes people on the corner of that place. And when I'm driving by, they'll be saying like, man, all you got to do is wait 5 more minutes. You know they're going to be serving lunch. And things like that. It might seem minuscule, but I was in a homeless shelter for almost 3 years due to my spine being injured. And that same person would probably be stealing from a store. That same person will. So the person that's talking to them is like, don't do something dumb because now we have a resource, and that's like the major thing. In the city and the locations where they are, it's not a lot of resources, not a lot of people to uphold you to doing the right thing. Even when I see people that are patrons there that don't work there, if I see them later on, they're doing something, they try to stand up straight, they try to fix their clothes. It's community responsibility, and the community now knows. Oh, if I see one of them, I'm supposed to look right, even if it's just to get a meal later on. It's something that some people don't have. They don't have the parent that taught them that. They don't have, you know what I mean? They might have a parent, but not that taught them that. So.
Yeah. I'm just wanted to let you know you had 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I definitely wanted to speak towards the light that it brings to the community.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so yeah, I did not know whether or not anyone else wanted to had anything else to add for public comment. Okay, what I do, sorry.
Comment online.
Okay, great.
B.A. Fields.
I'm sorry, what's her name?
B.A. Fields.
Okay, B.A. Fields. Can you hear us?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Fields.
How are you, Councilwoman
well.
McCoy? And hello to my former council members, Councilwoman Oliver Spadola and Councilman Chris Johnson. I want to say, first of all, in my last term, I want to again give you, you three, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman McCoy, and Councilman Johnson, kudos for putting in the hard work and doing what you needed to do to make sure that this program was implemented into the city of Wilmington. I currently work in the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services. And so what my job is to help constituents with different, things or issues that they may come across in the city of Wilmington. However, we don't have, we don't do social service and different things like that. So what we've done is we've built a rapport and a partnership with Dr. Mason and Miss Sierra Hall. And that is those two ladies are my direct connect when I have people that are hungry, when I have young adults that are that need some guidance or some assistance, when I have homeless mothers and different things like that. So what I would like to say is it would be remiss of me not to mention how at this department here, the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services, we need those connections. We need those departments. We need those partnerships in order for us to continue to help throughout the community. As you already know, community is key, and that's the only way that we're going to be able to continue striving to build a better Wilmington. So again, I just want to thank Dr. Mason, Miss Sierra Hall, Wolfie, and everybody. I don't want to start calling names out, but just to the people that I've seen when I was downstairs, I just want to say thank you all for putting in the hard work because everybody can't do this work. So again, thank you so much for your report. I like what I heard, and I continue. We in this office continue to work with you all. So when I call you, make sure y'all answer the phone. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anyone else?
No more hands raised.
So if you didn't have anyone else to present, did anyone else feel that they wanted to come up and give a public comment? Okay.
Thank you.
That's why thank you so much for the presentation. Like I stated, I really look forward to actually diving into your report. I'm really impressed from the last report to now to just rather than just getting the numbers, but truly getting an understanding and narrative of all of the work that's actually been done over there. And I felt as though that's what needed to happen. I'm like, you got to tell your story. So I look forward to reading your story.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming out. We actually had, I'm wondering why I'm seeing Stephanie and the chief, and I was actually not going to go over this, and I made you guys wait. I'm so sorry. So the last, okay, Okay, because I'm like, So actually, there's one last thing that was on the agenda. It was the review. It was a review of the local firefighter local 1590 and their collective bargaining agreement, but no one's here actually to present it. They were just going to give us the answers, and I'd rather have someone come and speak so we can have a conversation. So I wanted to push it off till next month so that we can have that conversation. So then that is it. Then I do thank you all for coming.
Ms. Bass Knight has a hand up.
Okay, Ms. Bass Knight.
Madam Chair, for your next meeting, are you just looking for answers to the questions? Or are you looking for an overview of what the contract entails, like the fiscal cost and all those ancillary items as well?
Oh yeah, we could go big because they're going to get another 30 days. So I would like a full overview. Okay.
Thank you. Wanted it for the record.
All right. Thank you. All right. So if there's nothing else and we are all done for this evening, if I can get a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. The meeting is now adjourned. Please enjoy your evening, Wilmington. Have a great night.